Giggling at the failure of the comfortable Lincoln pickup truck, General Motors executives decided it was time to make a joke of their own. And they came up with the Chevrolet Avalanche. The owners are delighted so far. Until now, there are irresponsible pickup drivers, not to be confused with pickup trucks, who can afford to say that. They say there are cooler trucks than the Chevy Avalanche. However, since we are talking about the 2002 to 2005 model, I can say, yes, there are. This is a new generation Avalanche introduced in 2006. According to various American consumer associations, the Chevrolet Avalanche pickup truck outperforms its competitors in almost every way. In the first victorious lines, he has ride comfort, quality of materials and workmanship, dynamics, and traction characteristics. Avalanche appeared as a prototype in 2000, and already in 2002 went into production. A year later, it received an expanded list of safety options as standard equipment, including an OnStar emergency search and detection system. The main feature of the Chevrolet Avalanche is that it is one of the first serial 5-door pickups. No, the tailgate does not count. The design of the car is truly unique for its time. It has a one-piece body, and the rear wall of the cabin can be removed and, having folded the second row seats, get a closed platform 2.5 meters long. This luxury does not provide any pickup truck. With all this, with a slight movement of the hand, the truck can be turned back into a comfortable 5-seater SUV. At the same time, the cargo compartment is shortened to 1,600 millimeters, which is also a good result. It closes with a standard plastic lid. Despite the high power and dynamic appearance, the Avalanche is better to ride the way they do in the United States. Smooth acceleration to the legal speed and uniform straight line movement. 500,000 kilometers without overhaul provided. True, few people in our country are going to, having bought a car like the Avalanche, win hundreds of thousands of miles and years of operation on the cardan shaft. In addition, almost all pickups come to us already used. This should not scare potential buyers, since Chevrolet has few serious vulnerabilities. The pickup truck is built on the Chevrolet Suburban platform and is very close to it in size. The same wheelbase, length, and width of the car. However, thanks to some stylistic decisions, in particular, arch extensions, sidewall overlays, it looks lean and dynamic. As with the Suburban, there are two main versions of the pickup truck, 1500 and 2500, regular and heavy duty. The mechanical part of the Avalanche corresponds to the SUV almost 100%. Independent front and dependent rear spring suspension. All-wheel drive transmission AutoTrack Active 4WD with clutch-operated front axle. 4-speed automatic transmission and 2-speed range. The engines of the Vortex series, which are 5.3-liter, 290 horsepower and 441 newton-meters, and 8.1-liter, 340 horsepower and 617 newton-meters, are essentially deeply modernized famous small block and big block, that is, 5.7 and 7.4-liter. The refinement was carried out in order to improve environmental and economic performance without compromising power and traction characteristics. Since we are more interested in the 5.3 motor, then we will mainly talk about it. The working volume of the engine was slightly reduced, but thanks to the introduction of modern injection technologies, lightening a number of moving parts, it was possible to increase its power and torque. The high performance of the engine turns into a headache for owners in connection with the search for clean gasoline, since the high-pressure port injection system, in particular the fuel pump, does not tolerate mechanical contamination of the fuel. The electric pump is located in the tank, and its replacement costs 15,000 rubles. It should be noted that, unlike most fuel pumps, the pump is assembled with the fuel sensor and fuel intake fittings. A small pressure drop in the fuel line as a result of pump contamination does not even allow you to simply start the car. The second problem may be the presence in the exhaust system of 4 oxygen sensors, a pair per catalytic converter. The sensors react to bad fuel like a hound to a fox, and they don't let go anymore, scaring the owner with the glow of the service engine soon indicator. In the service center, the error can be erased, but the very first unsuccessful refueling will reignite the service engine soon. Many people drive like this, but this is bad, because the engine works according to an emergency algorithm. It smokes, eats gasoline in buckets, pulls worse and runs unevenly. Both transmissions used on the all-wheel drive Avalanche have military heritage. They are descended from the famous TH700 and TH350. We are interested in the first one, the one that received electronic control of the solenoids in the Citizen, the 4th overdrive speed and the 4L60E, 4L65E indices. The box is very reliable and hardy. The problems are mostly related to improper operation. Not everyone knows that overdrive is designed only for long-term uniform movement on the freeway, and for everyday use you need to choose drive or third gear. You can skid only on the first. And by the way, anyone who says that the transmission of these Chevrolets is thoughtful simply does not know how to use it. If you want to drive dynamically, turn off the overdrive and keep the pedal pressed. Of the troubles awaiting the owners, the most unpleasant can be drying, warping and squeezing out the oil seals located between the transmission boxes. If the oil level drops in the automatic transmission, but there are no drips, check the oil level in the gearbox. It may be in excess there. The replacement of oil seals should be entrusted to a specialized service, since there are nuances. The procedure will cost $17,000, including spare parts. The suspension and chassis of the Avalanche is a hodgepodge of several GM all-wheel drive models, including the Silverado pickup. Forged front arms are from pickups, spring rear suspension is from Tahoe, and so on. Everything is repaired, tightened, changed, and disassembled. Pendulum lever should be checked, hubs, ball. The stabilizer, or rather, the bushings, or rather, the crackers, are almost expendable material. It costs mere pennies, it changes on the knee. Everything is usually in stock. There is not much on the Avalanche market, but finding a decent sample of work will not be difficult. However, due to draconian customs clearance, they are quite expensive. An alternative to the hero of our story can only be much later models from other manufacturers, but they do not have such boldness and soul as an Avalanche.